Dr. Lisa Rodriguez had always been a night owl. Working late at the radio telescope facility felt natural to her. The quiet hum of machines and the endless stream of cosmic signals kept her company during those long midnight hours. She was a language expert who specialized in finding patterns in space signals. Most nights, she would just hear the usual background noise from distant stars and galaxies. But this Tuesday night was different. At exactly 2:47 a.m., her computer started beeping. Frantically, the signal detector was picking up something unusual. Lisa rubbed her tired eyes and leaned closer to her screen. The wavelength patterns were unlike anything she had ever seen before. Instead of random cosmic noise, these signals had structure. They had rhythm. They had intelligence. Her heart started beating faster as she ran the data through her translation software. The patterns looked like they were trying to communicate, but that was impossible, right? In her 12 years of searching for signs of life in space, she had never found anything close to this. The signal was coming from somewhere near Neptune. That was strange because no human spacecraft had ever traveled that far out in our solar system. Lisa double-checked her equipment. Everything was working perfectly. This was real. As her computer processed more of the signal, words started appearing on her screen. Not in English, but her translation program was slowly making sense of it. Her hands trembled as she read the first complete sentence that appeared. Greetings. To the people of Earth, we have been watching you. Lisa nearly fell off her chair. This couldn't be happening. She was probably dreaming. But the signal kept coming, and more words kept appearing on her screen. The message was getting clearer and more detailed. We have studied your languages and your people for many years. We have chosen one human to speak for your entire planet. Dr. Lisa Rodriguez of the Deep Space Research Center, you have been selected. Now Lisa was sure she was losing her mind. How could aliens possibly know her name? How did they know where she worked? She looked around her empty office, half expecting to see cameras or someone playing a prank on her. But the message continued. Your work on universal language patterns has impressed us. Your mind works in ways that most humans cannot understand. We need someone who can bridge the gap between our species and yours. You are that person? Lisa stood up and walked around her office, trying to process what was happening. She had spent years studying how different languages might work across the universe. She had written papers about how alien species might communicate, but she never expected to actually use that knowledge. The signal was getting stronger. Her equipment showed that whatever was sending this message was getting closer to Earth. The transmission continued. Dr. Rodriguez, we know this is shocking for you. We know humans fear the unknown, but we come in peace. Our species has been traveling between stars for thousands of years. We have met many different forms of life. Humans are special. You have something that most species lose as they advance. Curiosity combined with compassion. Lisa sat back down and started recording everything. If this was real, it would be the most important discovery in human history. If it wasn't real, she would need evidence of her breakdown for the doctors. We will arrive in your solar system in 72 hours. We will position our ship in orbit around your moon. Only you may come to meet us. If any other human approaches our vessel, we will consider it an act of war and leave immediately. Your leaders will try to stop you. Your military will want to take control. But remember, we chose you, not them. Lisa's phone started ringing. It was her supervisor, Dr. Williams. She looked at the clock. It was now 3:15 a.m. Why would he be calling so late? Lisa, are you at the facility? His voice sounded worried. Double quotes, yes. I'm here. Dr. Williams, you need to see what I've found. I think we've made contact. There was silence on the phone for a moment. Then Dr. Williams said, Lisa, we're picking up your signal at 3 other facilities. The government has already been notified. Don't touch anything else. Don't talk to anyone. We're sending a team to your location right now. Lisa looked back at her screen. A new message was appearing. Dr. Rodriguez, your authorities are already mobilizing. This is expected. Do not let them silence you. You are humanity's voice now. We have much to show you about your species' true origin and the danger that is coming. But first, you must trust us, and more importantly, you must trust yourself. The signal started to fade, but one final message came through. We will be waiting for you. Dr. Rodriguez, the future of both our species depends on what happens next. Do not disappoint us. Then the signal stopped completely. Lisa stared at the blank screen, her mind racing. In less than an hour, her quiet life as a researcher had been turned upside down. She was no longer just a scientist studying space signals. She was now humanity's first ambassador to an alien species. Car lights appeared outside her window. The government team was arriving. Lisa quickly saved all her data and prepared to face the hardest conversation of her life. How do you explain to your government that aliens have chosen you to represent the entire human race? She took a deep breath and waited for them to arrive. Whatever happened next, nothing would ever be the same again. The next morning, Lisa found herself sitting in a conference room surrounded by people in dark suits. FBI agents, military officials, and government scientists filled every chair around the long table. Everyone was staring at her like she was some kind of experiment. General Thompson, a stern-looking man with gray hair, slammed his hand on the table. Dr. Rodriguez, this is a matter of national security. We cannot allow a civilian to handle first contact with an alien species. We have trained diplomats and military personnel who are better suited for this job. Lisa felt overwhelmed. She had barely slept and was still trying to process everything that had happened. But they specifically asked for me, she said quietly. The message was clear, only I can approach this ship. That's exactly the problem, said Agent Foster from the CIA. Why would aliens know about one random scientist? How do they even know English? This whole thing smells like a setup. Dr. Williams, her supervisor, tried to defend her. Lisa is one of the best language specialists in the world. Her research on communication patterns is groundbreaking. Maybe that's why they chose her. But Lisa herself was wondering the same thing. Why her? She wasn't famous. She wasn't a world leader. She was just someone who loved studying how different beings might talk to each other. That afternoon, while the officials argued about what to do, Lisa received another message. This time, it came directly to her personal laptop in her hotel room. The aliens had somehow found a way to contact her privately. Dr. Rodriguez, we know your leaders are trying to stop you from meeting us. This is why we must explain our choice. You are not random. You are exactly what we need. Lisa typed back, I don't understand. There are much more important people than me. Why not contact the President or the United Nations? The response came quickly. Your leaders think with their egos and their fears. Politicians want power, military. Leaders want control. Scientists want fame. But you want understanding. This is rare among your species. Lisa stared at the screen. The aliens seemed to know her better than she knew herself. We have been studying Earth for 47 of your years. We have watched your television, read your books, and listened to your conversations. Most humans are predictable. They react with fear, greed, or aggression. But some humans are different. Some think in patterns that match our own way of processing information. What do you mean? Lisa typed, your brain works differently, Dr. Rodriguez. When you analyze languages, you see connections that others miss. When you solve problems, you think in multiple dimensions. This is similar to how our species processes thoughts. We exist as a collective consciousness, but we can interface with individual minds that have the right frequency. Lisa felt a chill run down her spine. Are you saying I'm not fully human? You are completely human, but humans are more diverse than your species realizes. Some humans have dormant abilities that can be awakened. You are one of them. This is why we can communicate with you directly, mind to mind. When the time comes, Lisa looked around her hotel room, suddenly feeling paranoid. How are you sending me these messages? How do you know where I am? We are much closer than your government realizes. Our technology allows us to connect with compatible minds across great distances. Right now, we are monitoring your thoughts and emotions. We can sense your fear, but also your curiosity. Your curiosity is stronger than your fear. This is exactly why we chose you." Lisa stood up and walked to the window. She could see military vehicles parked outside the hotel. They were watching her every move. "Dr. Rodriguez, your leaders will try to replace you with someone they can control. They will say you are not qualified. They will say this is too dangerous for a civilian. But we will only speak to you. If they send anyone else, we will leave Earth immediately and never return." "But what if I mess this up?" Lisa typed frantically. "What if I say the wrong thing? The whole future of humanity could depend on this conversation. This is another reason we chose you. Most humans would be excited about the power and attention. Politicians would see this as an opportunity to gain control. Military leaders would see it as a chance to acquire new weapons. But you are worried about making mistakes. You care more about doing the right thing than about personal gain." Lisa sat back down, feeling the weight of responsibility crushing her shoulders. "There is something else you must know," the message continued. "We are not the only species aware of your planet. There are others who have been watching Earth. Not all of them have good intentions. We came first because we wanted to help prepare your species for what is coming." Lisa's hands started shaking. "What do you mean?" "What's coming? That is a conversation for when we meet face to face. But know this, your species is at a crossroads. The choices made in the next few months will determine whether humanity survives or becomes extinct. We believe you can help guide your people toward survival." A knock at the door interrupted her thoughts. "Dr. Rodriguez, we need to talk," came General Thompson's voice from the hallway. Lisa quickly typed, "They're here. What should I do?" "Tell them the truth. You are humanity's only hope for peaceful contact. If they try to stop you, we will leave, and your species will face the coming threat alone. The choice is yours, Dr. Rodriguez. But remember, we did not choose you randomly. We chose you because you are exactly what humanity needs right now." The screen went blank just as the door opened. General Thompson walked in with 2 agents behind him. "Dr. Rodriguez, we've made a decision. We're going to send a team of our best people to make contact. You'll be part of the team, but you won't be leading it." Lisa looked at the general, then at her blank laptop screen. She thought about the alien message and the warning about what was coming. She realized that this moment would define not just her own future, but the future of every person on Earth. She took a deep breath and made her choice. Lisa stood her ground as General Thompson waited for her answer. She could feel her heart pounding, but she knew what she had to do. "General, with all respect, that won't work. They were very clear. Only I can make contact. If you send anyone else, they'll leave Earth forever." The general's face turned red. "Dr. Rodriguez, you're a civilian. You have no training in diplomacy or first contact procedures. This is way above your level." Lisa walked to her laptop and showed him the screen where the alien messages had appeared. "They've been communicating with me directly. They chose me for a reason. If you want humanity to have a chance at peaceful contact, you have to let me do this." Agent Foster stepped forward. "How do we know you're not being manipulated? How do we know these aliens aren't controlling your mind somehow?" Lisa had wondered the same thing herself, but deep down, she felt like she was still completely herself. The aliens weren't controlling her. They were just talking to her in a way that felt natural. "You'll have to trust me," she said, "just like I have to trust them." After hours of arguing and phone calls to Washington, the officials finally agreed. Lisa would go to meet the aliens, but she would wear a communication device so the ground team could hear everything. That happened. 3 days later, Lisa found herself sitting in a space shuttle, heading toward the moon. She had never been to space before, and the view of Earth getting smaller below her was both beautiful and terrifying. The pilot, Commander Davis, pointed ahead. "There it is, Dr. Rodriguez." Lisa looked out the window and gasped. The alien ship didn't look like anything from science fiction movies. It wasn't a typical flying saucer or a massive battleship. Instead, it looked like a giant crystal floating in space. The surface seemed to glow with soft blue and purple lights that pulsed like a heartbeat. "How big is that thing?" Lisa whispered. "About the size of a city block," Commander Davis replied. "But our instruments can't figure out what it's made of. The readings don't match any material we know." As they got closer, Lisa felt a strange tingling sensation in her head. It wasn't painful, but it was definitely not normal. Then she heard a voice, not through the radio, but directly in her mind. "Welcome, Dr. Rodriguez. We have been waiting for you." Lisa nearly jumped out of her seat. "Did you hear that?" she asked the commander. "Hear what?" he replied, looking confused. The voice in her head continued. "Do not be afraid. We are speaking directly to your consciousness. Your pilot cannot hear us. This is how our species communicates." Lisa took a deep breath and thought her response instead of speaking it out loud. "This is incredible. How are you doing this? Your brain operates on frequencies that match our own. Most humans cannot receive our thoughts, but you can. This is why we chose you." The shuttle docked with the alien ship, and Lisa felt the tingling sensation grow. Stronger. The airlock opened, and she found herself looking into a corridor that seemed impossible. The walls were made of the same glowing crystal as the outside of the ship, but they seemed alive somehow, pulsing with gentle light. Lisa stepped inside and immediately felt disoriented. Gravity seemed to work differently here. She could walk on the walls or ceiling just by thinking about it. The air smelled like flowers and ozone mixed together. "This way, Dr. Rodriguez." The voice in her head guided her. Lisa walked through corridors that seemed to stretch on forever. Sometimes the hallways curved in directions that shouldn't have been possible. She felt like she was inside a living being rather than a mechanical ship. Finally, she entered a large circular room. In the center stood the most beautiful and terrifying creature she had ever seen. It was tall, maybe 8 feet, but it didn't look solid. Instead, it appeared to be made of flowing light and energy, constantly shifting between different shapes. Sometimes it looked almost human. Other times it resembled flowing water or dancing flames. "I am Queen Zera," the being said, and Lisa realized the voice in her head had a source. "I am the leader of our expedition to your world." Lisa tried to speak but found her voice caught in her throat. She was face to face with an alien being, and it was nothing like she had imagined. "Do not fear your voice," Queen Zera said gently. "You may speak aloud. I can understand your verbal communication as well as your thoughts. You're beautiful." Lisa managed to say, "I never imagined anything like this." Queen Zera's form shifted, becoming more solid and human-like. "We change our appearance to make others more comfortable. This is closer to what you expect, yes?" Lisa nodded, though she found the shifting, light-based forms somehow more magnificent. "Dr. Rodriguez, we have much to discuss, and time is shorter than we hoped. Your world is in danger, and you are the key to saving it." "What kind of danger?" Lisa asked. Queen Zera gestured, and the walls of the room suddenly became transparent. Lisa could see space around them, but now there were images floating in the air, pictures of other planets, other species, and what looked like massive ships. "Your galaxy is not as empty as your scientists believe. There are many species, and they are divided into 2 groups, those like us, who believe in peaceful coexistence, and others who believe that only the strongest should survive." Lisa watched the images change, showing scenes of planets being destroyed and civilizations being wiped out. "The destroyers are coming to Earth. They have been traveling toward your world for many years. They see humanity as a threat because your species advances so quickly. They plan to eliminate your civilization before you become too powerful." Lisa felt sick to her stomach. "How long do we have?" "Less than 6 months," Queen Zera replied. "But there is hope. Your species has hidden potential that even you do not understand. Some humans can be awakened to abilities that could help defend your world." "What kind of abilities?" Lisa asked. Queen Zera's form began to glow brighter. "The same abilities that allow you to hear my thoughts. The same reason your mind can process our communications. Dr. Rodriguez, you are not just a translator between our species. You are the first human to begin awakening to your true potential." Lisa felt the tingling sensation in her head growing stronger. What's happening to me? We are offering you a choice, Queen Zara said. You can remain as you are and return to Earth with this warning. Or you can allow us to help you unlock the abilities that are sleeping in your mind. But know this, if you choose the awakening, you will become something more than human. You will be changed forever. Lisa looked at the images of destroyed worlds floating around her. She thought about everyone back on Earth, her family, her friends, all the people who had no idea what was coming. If I change, can I help save them? She asked. You will become the first of a new kind of human, one who can fight against the destroyers using powers they do not expect. But the choice must be yours, freely made. Lisa closed her eyes and thought about her quiet life studying radio signals. That life was already over. Now she had to decide what would replace it. Lisa stared at Queen Zara, her mind racing with questions. Before I make this choice, I need to understand what's really happening. Why are these destroyers coming for us? What makes humanity such a threat? Queen Zara's light form shifted, becoming more serious. Come with me, Dr. Rodriguez. There are things about your species that even your greatest scientists do not know. The alien queen led Lisa deeper into the ship, through corridors that seemed to bend reality itself. They arrived at a massive chamber that took Lisa's breath away. The room was filled with floating spheres of light, each one containing swirling images and colors. This is our memory archive, Queen Zara explained. Here, we store the history of every civilization we have encountered. What I'm about to show you will change everything you believe about humanity. Queen Zara touched one of the glowing spheres, and suddenly Lisa found herself surrounded by images. She wasn't just watching them, she was experiencing them as if she were really there. The first vision showed a beautiful planet with purple skies and silver oceans. Advanced cities floated in the air, connected by bridges of pure energy. The beings living there looked remarkably human, but they had abilities that seemed magical. They could move objects with their minds, communicate across vast distances through thought, and even heal injuries by touching them. This was Kepler Prime. Queen Zara's voice echoed around Lisa, the original homeworld of the human species. Your ancestors were not primitive apes who evolved on Earth. They were an advanced civilization that mastered both technology and mental abilities. Lisa watched in amazement as she saw these ancient humans working alongside various alien species, sharing knowledge and building incredible structures that defied physics. But what happened to them? Lisa asked, why don't we remember any of this? The vision changed, and Lisa saw massive black ships appearing in the purple sky. They were angular and menacing, covered in weapons that fired beams of destructive energy. The floating cities began to fall, crashing into the silver oceans below, the Vorthok. Queen Zara said with sadness in her voice, the same species that is now heading toward Earth. They believed that any civilization capable of mental abilities was too dangerous to exist. They called it the purge of the mind-gifted. Lisa watched in horror as the beautiful planet was systematically destroyed. But she also saw something else, evacuation ships leaving the planet, carrying survivors away into deep space. Some of your people escaped, Queen Zara continued. They scattered across the galaxy, settling on different worlds. Earth was one of those refuge planets. But to protect themselves from being found by the Vorthok, they suppressed their mental abilities and lived as ordinary beings. The vision shifted to show primitive humans on Earth, but Lisa could see that they occasionally displayed flashes of their old powers, moments of telepathy, healing, or moving objects with their minds. Over thousands of years, these abilities became weaker and rare, so the psychic abilities some humans claimed to have. Lisa began, are real, Queen Zara finished. They are echoes of your species' true nature. Most humans have completely lost access to these powers, but some, like you, still carry the genetic potential. You are not just a linguist, Dr. Rodriguez. You are a descendant of one of the most advanced civilizations the galaxy has ever known. Lisa felt dizzy as the implications hit her. Everything she thought she knew about human history was wrong. But why are the Vorthok coming now? We've been on Earth for thousands of years without bothering anyone. Queen Zera's form darkened with worry, because humanity is advancing too quickly. Your technology is developing at a rate that concerns them. But more importantly, some humans are beginning to rediscover their mental abilities. They can sense the awakening. The memory sphere showed modern Earth, but Lisa could see glowing threads connecting certain people around the planet. Some threads were dim, others were brighter. There are currently 47 humans on your planet who show strong potential for ability awakening, Queen Zera explained. You are one of them. The Vortex sensors have detected this psychic activity. They are coming to eliminate your species before you can fully remember what you once were. Lisa saw images of the approaching Vortex fleet, hundreds of massive warships, armed with weapons that could destroy entire planets. They would reach Earth in less than 6 months. But here's what the Vortex don't know, Queen Zera continued, and her form began to glow brighter with excitement. We have been secretly working with other peaceful species to develop a defense. If we can awaken enough humans to their true abilities, you might be able to fight back. How many humans would need to be awakened? Lisa asked. At minimum, 12 fully awakened humans working together could generate enough psychic energy to disable their ships. But the awakening process is difficult and dangerous. Not everyone survives it. Lisa felt the weight of responsibility crushing down on her again. And I would be the first one to try it? Yes, your brain patterns are the most compatible with the awakening process. If it works on you, we can use what we learned to help awaken others. But Dr. Rodriguez, you must understand, this transformation will change you completely. You will gain incredible abilities, but you will also see and feel things that ordinary humans cannot. You will be connected to the cosmic consciousness that flows through all living beings. Some humans who undergo this transformation find it overwhelming. The memory sphere showed her other species that had been awakened to their full potential. They were powerful and wise, but Lisa could see in their eyes a kind of sadness, as if they carried the weight of the entire universe. What about my family, my friends? Will I still be able to relate to them? Queen Zera's form became gentler. That is the hardest part, Dr. Rodriguez. You will still love them, but you will see them as they truly are, beautiful, fragile beings who are unaware of their own potential. It can be lonely to be the only awakened one among sleeping minds. Lisa walked around the memory chamber, processing everything she had learned. Humanity wasn't from Earth. They were descendants of an advanced civilization. Alien destroyers were coming to wipe them out, and she had the chance to become something more than human to help save everyone. If I refuse, what happens? We will respect your choice and leave. But when the Vortex arrive, humanity will face them with only conventional weapons. Your species will not survive, and if I accept, you will become the first of a new generation of awakened humans. You will help us find and train others. Together, you might be able to save not just Earth, but restore humanity to its true place in the galaxy. Lisa looked at one more memory sphere that showed Earth as it could be, humans working alongside aliens, exploring the galaxy, using both advanced technology and mental abilities to build a better universe. I need to know one more thing, Lisa said. If we succeed, if we defeat the Vortex, what happens to Earth then? Queen Zera smiled, and her light form became warm and inviting. Then humanity joins the Galactic Alliance as equals. Your species takes its rightful place among the stars. The age of hiding is over. Lisa closed her eyes and thought about her quiet life studying radio signals. That life was already gone. Now she had to decide whether to become something unimaginable to save everyone she had ever loved. Lisa stood in the memory archive, surrounded by the glowing spheres that contained the history of countless civilizations. The weight of the decision before her felt heavier than anything she had ever experienced. She thought about her parents back home, her brother who was getting married next month, her colleagues at the research center who had no idea that their world was about to change forever. How long do I have to decide? She asked Queen Zera. The awakening process takes 3 days to complete, the alien queen replied. If we begin now, you will be fully transformed by the time we return to Earth. But Dr. Rodriguez, once we start, there is no going back. Lisa walked over to one of the memory spheres and touched it gently. Images of Earth flashed before her eyes, children playing in parks, families having dinner together, scientists working late in laboratories just like she used to do. All of these people were living their normal lives, completely unaware that, in 6 months, destroyers from across the galaxy would arrive to eliminate their species. "Tell me exactly what will happen to me," Lisa said, turning back to Queen Zara. "I need to understand everything." Queen Zara's light form shifted into a more comfortable, almost motherly appearance. "The awakening happens in stages. First, we will enhance your brain's natural ability to process information. You will be able to think faster and see patterns that were invisible before. This part is usually easy, and then we unlock your telepathic abilities. You will be able to communicate with others through thought alone, sense emotions from great distances, and even influence the minds of those who are willing. This stage can be overwhelming because you will suddenly hear the thoughts of everyone around you." Lisa felt a chill run down her spine. "I'll hear everyone's thoughts all the time. At first, yes. But we will teach you to control it, to tune in and out like adjusting a radio. The third stage is when we awaken your ability to manipulate matter with your mind. You will be able to move objects, heal injuries, and even alter the molecular structure of things around you. That sounds impossible. Your ancestors could do all of this and more. These abilities are part of your genetic heritage. We are simply removing the blocks that thousands of years of suppression have created." Queen Zara gestured, and new images appeared in the air around them. Lisa saw humans from Kepler Prime moving massive stones with their thoughts, healing serious wounds by touching them, and even flying through the air without any technology. "The final stage is the most difficult," Queen Zara continued. "We will connect you to the cosmic consciousness, the network of energy that flows between all living beings in the universe. You will be able to sense life on other planets, communicate across vast distances of space, and understand the deep connections between all things." But Lisa could hear there was more. "But you will also feel the pain of every suffering being, the fear of those in danger, and the weight of cosmic responsibility. Some humans who reach this stage find it too much to bear. They withdraw from normal life and spend their time trying to help everyone in the universe, forgetting to take care of themselves." Lisa sat down on what appeared to be a chair made of solid light, and "If the awakening doesn't work on me," Queen Zara's form dimmed slightly, "there's a 15% chance that your brain will not be able to handle the transformation. In that case, you would—" She paused. "I would die." Lisa finished. "Yes, but Dr. Rodriguez, we have studied your brain patterns extensively. We believe you have a very high chance of success." Lisa thought about her quiet apartment, her cat who was probably wondering where she was, her research that would never be finished. Then she thought about the Vorthic ships heading toward Earth, filled with weapons designed to wipe out entire civilizations. "If I do this, and we manage to awaken other humans, what kind of life will we have after we defeat the Vorthic?" Queen Zara's form brightened with hope. "You would become teachers and guardians. You would help other humans gradually awaken to their abilities. Earth would join the Galactic Alliance, and humanity would explore the stars as your ancestors once did. But more importantly, you would ensure that no other species ever has to face extinction at the hands of destroyers." Lisa stood up and walked to the edge of the chamber, looking out at the stars through the transparent wall. Somewhere among those points of light was Earth, spinning peacefully while its people went about their daily lives, and somewhere else, in that darkness, an army of destruction was heading toward everything she loved. "I want to talk to someone on Earth first," she said suddenly, "before I make this choice. I need to hear a familiar voice." Queen Zara nodded. "Of course. We can establish a communication link." A few minutes later, Lisa found herself talking to Dr. Williams, her supervisor, who was still at the research center coordinating with government officials. "Lisa, thank God you're okay. What's happening up there?" "The officials are going crazy because we lost contact with your shuttle." Lisa looked at Queen Zara, who nodded encouragingly. "Dr. Williams, I'm going to tell you something that will sound impossible, but I need you to listen carefully. For the next 20 minutes, Lisa explained everything, the true origin of humanity, the coming invasion, and the choice she had to make. Dr. Williams was silent for a long time after she finished. Lisa, he finally said, his voice shaking, "Are you absolutely sure about this? You're talking about giving up your humanity?" "No," Lisa replied, surprising herself with the certainty in her voice. "I'm talking about becoming what humanity was always meant to be." She thought about all the years she had spent studying signals from space, hoping to find evidence that humans weren't alone in the universe. Now she knew they had never been alone. They had just forgotten who they really were. Dr. Williams, "If I don't do this, everyone dies. My parents, your family, every person on Earth. But if I do this, we have a chance. We can save everyone and give humanity a future among the stars. But Lisa, you'll be different. You won't be the same person anymore." Lisa smiled, even though he couldn't see her. Maybe being different is exactly what humanity needs right now. After ending the communication, Lisa turned to Queen Zara. "I've made my decision." And Lisa took a deep breath and thought about her childhood dreams of exploring space and meeting alien civilizations. She had never imagined it would happen like this. But sometimes the universe has its own plans. "I'll do it. I'll undergo the awakening, Queen." Zara's entire form glowed with joy and relief. "Dr. Rodriguez, you have just made a choice that will change the course of galactic history. Your species will remember this moment for thousands of years." "When do we start?" Lisa asked. "Right now," Queen Zara replied. "The transformation chamber is ready, and time is running short. Are you prepared?" Lisa looked one last time at the stars visible through the chamber wall. Somewhere out there, Earth was waiting. Her old life was over, but a new one was about to begin. She was about to become the first awakened human. In thousands of years, and the fate of two civilizations rested on her shoulders. "I'm ready," she said, and meant it completely. As Queen Zara led her toward the transformation chamber, Lisa felt a strange sense of peace. She was no longer just Dr. Lisa Rodriguez, the quiet scientist who studied radio signals. She was about to become something entirely new, a bridge between what humanity was and what it could become again.